All right, Evan, welcome back for the episode of Carnivore Trades. Today is Wednesday, October 23rd, 2024. If you're not done so already, please give the video a thumbs up, like, comment, subscribe to the channel. Come find me on carnivoretrades.com for swing trading alerts, analysis, and live day trading. Again, take advantage of that deal. Only about 2 more weeks here. Able to pick off the lows of the day in the Qs. Awesome stuff here. Love using the GEX. Day trading. Anyway, let's get into it today. So, markets here down 1%. So that's probably probably the biggest sell that we've had in quite some time, and we've had 3 whole red days in a row now on the S&P. You can see the Nasdaq here down 1.5 via the Qs, and we went right into this trend line here. We are coming off the lows pretty nicely. I do think we will be supported tomorrow. At least for I would say the good portion of the day, unless Elon craps the bed, right? So we're watching Elon here with Tesla, and we'll see what they do on earnings. I'll try to take you into that as well. We've got about 2 minutes left on the day here. I think market's priced in about a 7 or 8% move, I want to say. I'd be interested in that around 200. So we'll see what that does here. But market's having the biggest sell in quite some time. I do think we'll be supported a little bit tomorrow. A, because I know every channel on YouTube is going to be calling a top tonight. So we'll probably bounce just for that alone. And B, just seeing some like technical reasons why we would hold up. I mean, we hit the trend line here, and there's some other stuff I've been looking at too. But I talked about momentum declining, and we have pulled back here today. So there we are. Really all you need to know though, and I'm not going to say there's a top in place. There could be. But I'm not going to sit here and say that, because we've seen these one-day, one-off sells just get bought the next day, right? So many times. And what do we have lacking, right? Volume, right? There's not enough, this is not distribution volume. Qs do have a little bit better volume, but don't really have it on the spiders. So SPX, this is really all you need to know. So forget having a crystal ball, forget making predictions, forget being a top caller. 58.20. That's the level right there. Coincides with 580 SPY. Short-term bear control until we get above that. That's really all you need to know at this point. Now, big picture, we're above the 20 moving average, right? This is still full bull control in every way, shape, and form. But when we break it down in intraday, I'll give bears the benefit of the doubt here until that's reclaimed. So that's really how I'm looking at it. And that's the way we're going to look at it moving forward. If we continue down, 5,700 is your next big level there. And it's kind of coinciding with that previous all-time high. So we'll see what we get here. Hey, we could slingshot and gap and go to 5,900 tomorrow, right? I'm telling you, there's going to be a lot of channels out there that are calling the top based on this one day. So just be aware of that. Market's worst day in quite a while. 3 days in a row red. We haven't had that since here. Heck, we haven't had 2 days in a row red since here either. So September 6th. So good sell here. And we'll see what we get tomorrow. We'll take a look at Tesla in a few seconds here. But Qs, again, right into that trend line. Again, revisiting the 485, 486 area. Nice level there. If that wants to pump or can pump, it can go to 500 and then the double top. Russell 2000 here down $2. Again, there's the trend line there as well. And we'll see if that holds up here. So IWM hanging in there fine. Dow down 4 points on the diamond. That's 1%. Closing right on the 20 MA. Right into that 425 area, whole round number. Marijuana stocks didn't do anything today. This is exactly what you wanted if you're a bull. The last thing you wanted, like I was this morning, I was like, please don't gap up. Please don't gap higher. Because if we gap higher, it's just going to be a gap and crap, or we're going to pump and then we're going to run out of gas and it's going to be a sell-off and then new lows again. Consolidation is fine, right? Hourly, that's fine. Let the 20 moving average catch up. Friday, very special thing is happening. That's going to be Donald Trump on Joe Rogan. Yeah, I'm saying that. And why is that important? Because Joe Rogan's definitely going to ask about marijuana. This will move on that. So marijuana stocks, we'll be keeping an eye on those. Should be inching up into the election. or getting interested into the election. Tesla's still sitting at 213. I think they reported like 405, so we'll check back in on that. SMH here down $2.68. That's a decline of 1%. You do have a bear inside bar here on the daily. So it seems like the haves and the have-nots. I talked about this the other day. ASML down 1.7. Not a good chart. KLA, not a good chart. AMAT, not a good chart. Qualcomm, not a good chart. And a weekly bear fed. Kind of a head and shoulder look there too. Then you have NVIDIA, which is, at the highs. Broadcom at the highs, right? TSM at the highs was actually green today. I did tell you, though, a lot of people chase this NVIDIA breakout, and it's just hard because when these breakout patterns, everyone jumps on them because they want to get the trend move. But why it takes time, again, I go back to that RSP example, these ascending wedges. Look how many times it tried to break out before it finally did. And then even then you had to go back check to it. So playing breakouts is always tricky. And I mean, everybody was just gushing over NVIDIA last week with that move. So it wouldn't surprise me to see more of a retrace. But SMH holding up. By the way, Ross Gerber selling Tesla to buy NVIDIA. I don't know. That might be a sign there too. Anyway, IGV down 1.4. Again, no problem. Just a pullback pattern here. I'd like to see more of it. But good dip there. Transport's down 1%. Nothing terrible on that. All right, Tesla looks like earnings are out here, so that's getting a little bit of a bid. So nice pop. That's 223. Nice bid there. What do we got? So that's good. That's basically the recent high, 224 and a quarter. Nice job, Elon. CNQ, getting a continued bid here. QQQ 489 after hours. That's basically right where it closed. Or sorry, that's with the after hours. So closed at 488.37. Yeah, we're up like $1. 221. We'll check back in on that a little bit later. So Tesla, nice pop. Was hoping for a dip in that, but that's okay. We'll see. Yields today. I think this could be part of the story. I tweeted about this last night. I've been talking about this lately. If this turns into a bull flag, forget the 10-year. Look at the twos. So this is what the Fed funds has to, go off of. Like, I mean, you got a bull flag here, and you could make a case. Like, that's an inverse head and shoulder, right? We get above 4.1. There's not a lot of real estate, or there's not a lot of resistance here, right? It's just short selling and, dumping. If we get above that, we can go right to 4.1. That brings you within 45 basis points of the Fed funds. You know what that means? We ain't cutting. We're not getting cuts. And they might have to start thinking about hiking if that starts to get too high. I mean, probably not. I mean, that's getting a little ahead of ourselves, but they're definitely not cutting. You can't cut with that close of a spread. That's a huge problem. Is that why the market was down today? Because the 2-year is starting to climb back versus the 10s, and yields are just ripping higher. Maybe we're just overbought. We talked about momentum declining. Doesn't matter what the story is, but that's an interesting thought, I think. XHB down 55 cents. Still below 120. If we get a weekly close below that, I would be a little concerned. Looks like volume's going to be pretty good this week too. So maybe housing market's kind of figuring that out, but you got VNQs holding up, so nothing broken there. XLF down 4 cents. Again, this is not like a tape that's like, if we had, I would feel a lot better about saying there's a top in place if XLF was down a ton with the semiconductors down, but it's not. So again, not the end of the world here. KRE green. I mean, like, it's only 4 cents, but it's green in a down tape. It's even up more than KBE was. Broker dealers down 1. Again, no problems here, just really overbought. Oil down 74 cents. Good pattern though. Like we broke above the trend line and just an inside hammer. We get through those moving averages. I think this has got 74 written on it. So, and then maybe higher. If you confirm a third higher low, I think this can really go up. But right now, XLE, so this is interesting. So it was down 45 cents. It came off the lows pretty nicely. But we have here, let me just get rid of this flag here. So I'll get rid of the after hours too. I'll be watching this tomorrow. If this follows through green tomorrow the other way, and you close back above like, I mean, even like just 90, you could have like a failed breakdown there. That could result in a pretty big move to the upside. So right now you held the 50 and you held the 200. So we came down and we tested that area, but we closed back inside of this range. We go up tomorrow, I think that's going to pump. So XLE holding up okay. Been soft the last week, even with the oil bid, but we'll see if it starts to turn that around now. XOP down 1%, but again, coming off the lows. And then OIH got that kind of like falling wedge look. We'll see if that can get an outside move. If not, you know, that might have to go back to the lows there. Nat gas got a bid here. Really big bid in the after hours, actually, after the COMEX. So a big pop there. Yeah, it looks like a local low is in place at least. Got to get back above, like, you got to at least get back above 245 though. And really 250 to actually squeeze up. I think that a bigger run for this will come when we get to Z. So it should get that November bid going. Uranium pulling back. Yeah, no issues here, just overbought. URNM, URNJ also backing off too. Dollar index, it just can't be stopped. They can't stop the dollar, right? 0.5% here. There's 104.50. We talked about that yesterday. There you go. It just keeps giving you guys levels, and it keeps getting through them. So this level should have been big. It held it for 1 day. So the dollar is just ripping. You know, at what point does the market care about this, right? Because it's not even that it's, I mean, it's still inside of this range, but it's about the velocity, how fast it goes. And the markets don't like when the yields go fast and the dollar goes fast in either direction. Right now, they act like they don't care about anything, but, you know, at some point things do matter. Gold here. Is this it? Did it happen? Down 1%. You made a new high and you closed below yesterday's low. That's never good. You made a new all-time high and you closed below yesterday's low. With volume, I would prefer more. We did get a little bit the other day, so maybe a little bit of distribution the other day. They let it up for air and they sold again. If we had like volume like this, I would say there's 100% a top in place. You know, maybe local top, maybe interim top. You know, I'm not saying an all-time top or something crazy, but that's, you made a new high and you closed below yesterday's low. So we'll see. See tomorrow if we get follow through. If we break back below 27, you're doing technical damage. So now we can finally say something about gold that isn't just, yeah, it's just melting up, right? There's actually something that we can talk about here. GDX was down today as well. Silver was down. It tried to come off the lows, but it looks like it's coming back in. Yeah, it's coming back in. Again, kind of an engulfing there as well. I think I mentioned this yesterday, but yeah, SIL didn't. It looks like it just closed above yesterday's high. SILJ didn't, though. So that was kind of a minor red flag. Back below 33. Again, you're doing technical damage. Could be a false breakout. So maybe metals here are getting a little overdone. Platinum backed off, but inside day, this is still okay right now. I'd still give that the upside bias to maybe 1060 if it can. Yeah, I think it can get there. Palladium here down $17. That's nothing. Just kind of inside bar action after the wedge break. So this is still okay too. And I like the weekly a lot on palladium. So those are okay. Copper trying to break down, but no follow through yet. Again, you do have a minor little mini bear flag here. I don't love it. I don't hate it. You know, as long as it's above 425, it's safe, I think. But you need to get back above 441 to rally. And then Bitcoin, that backed off again today as well. Still holding the 20 DMA though. So like the markets came off the lows there, we'll see if that can, we'll see if we can get a bounce tomorrow, and we'll just have to watch pattern here. If this just firms up and stays, you know, if this creates a new range here, you know, it could just flag again and then go through that. But right now, I'd say like 63 would be your short-term like level, and then we talked about 60 right here, right? So these two trend lines intersecting would be interesting to me on a pullback. So Tesla, let's take a look here. It's holding up. Oh, nice, 228. So 618 held effectively, basically. Little overthrow there today. Look at they did that. They overthrew it to the downside and then popping back up nicely. Let's look NQ, only down 1.39 now. So NQ inching up nicely in the after hours. ES inching up as well. Bottom line here, I don't care what they do or say. This is the level to watch here. Above, below that dictates bias in the short term. We get above that, we're going to squeeze. We stay below it, bears can try to push us lower towards, I'd say, 5,700. So we'll leave it at that. So anyways, I'll wrap it up here. Again, you guys take care. Have a great rest of your day. Come find me on carnivoretrades.com. I will see you guys all tomorrow.